And the last person I'd like to introduce to all of you West Prep is Dr. Scarlat Albright. And Dr. Scarlat Albright enlisted in the Canadian Armed Forces at the age of 18. And he was there until the age of 23. And we are lucky enough to have him visit us today here at West Prep. Dr. Albright, would you like to come up and say a few words to the children?
I joined the Canadian Air Force in grade 12 at the age of 18, and I went over to Britain by the Queen Elizabeth, and I took a navigator's course. And I flew from Great Britain to Europe as a night fighter so that the bombers wouldn't be shot down by the Messerschmitts. So we had to go ahead of the bombers, and then hopefully when they finished their bombing and were returning, they didn't come home in formation, they came at every height. So it was more dangerous for us to try to protect them, because we didn't know what altitude they would be coming back. So it was more dangerous for us when they were coming back than what we were going. The fighters were going all over the place. As I say, they came back as if they were running as fast as they could, and near the end of the war, our General Schmidt told us we would have to do dawn bombing. That meant going up as the sun was rising and to come back as low as we could in order to be below the Agag. And what else can I tell you? The first plane I was on was a bullfighter. It was all metal frame. And the plane we had, we used to call it U for useless, because it was so slow. And then when we got mosquitoes that was made here in Javelin, it was such a big difference. And the beautiful part of it is that when they came into Lyman, they came in at 70 kilometers an hour. It was like floating in. And I was fortunate that at the time, some of my comrades would ask me to switch flying, and I was fortunate. I don't know what they did, but they didn't come back. So I guess God was looking up after me, and so I was able to miss what dangers they went through. Either I was a better navigator than them, because I wouldn't go over Berlin, I would go around Berlin, and we could get the Messerschmitts above them and come down at them. So we were successful, and of course, some of these navigators wouldn't listen to me, and I couldn't argue with them because they didn't come back. And so I'm lucky to be here and see all these gentlemen and ladies, and I hope you all grow up to be honest
Dr. Albright said he considered himself very lucky. I think we're very lucky. We're very lucky, first of all, to have Dr. Albright and all of our friends from the residence to visit us. We're also very lucky for all the things that they've done for us. Boys and girls, this year's Remembrance Day is a very special one. It was exactly 100 years ago that World War I began. World War I was the first time that most of the countries in the world were involved in one conflict. It was the first time that there was a large conflict where people were not getting along. And when the war began, it wasn't called World War I. They called it the Great War. And as it went on, many, many Canadians, many people from around the world died. At the end of the war, they called this war the war to end all wars. Sadly, it was not. At 11 o'clock, on the 11th day, on the 11th month, in 1918, a treaty was signed to end the war, to end all wars. Now, every November 11th, like today, we honor the men and the women who have made that ultimate sacrifice. We honor Canadian war veterans, Canadian peacekeepers, and Canadians around the world before us and currently that are doing their part to make sure that we enjoy what we have here in Canada, to enjoy the freedoms that we have here in Canada, to enjoy the peace that we have here in Canada. We honor our veterans by wearing our poppy. We honor them and remember them. To enjoy our freedoms, we understand that for these poppies to be worn, someone has paid the sacrifice. Because of our veterans' courage, because of their service and the sacrifice, we are free to be here in Canada. you.